The story begins as some coffin-carrying dude named ASF and a girl named Giddy get off a train. These two emos are looking for a certain witch and ask the first girl they see if she is one or if she has seen one. Kitty is seriously impatient, so Ashef apologizes for her behavior and explains that she just can't contain her excitement when it comes to witches. He reveals that they don't actually know what the witch they are looking for looks like, but they are lucky to have found someone who knows a witch. This strange girl is named Mary, and she reveals that it wasn't luck at all, as she is not the only one who knows Lady Witch. In fact, everyone in the city knows the witch, and it shouldn't be long before they find her. Just then all the glass windows shatter around them, and they find a giant monster outside. This giant street shark crushes a bunch of dumb cops that were trying to shoot at it, and our two emos determine that a really powerful mage must be behind it. Gady thinks it's a witch that has finally revealed herself, but the strange girl from earlier tells them that they are wrong. The person behind the attack is not the person they are looking for down on the street. The person referred to as Lady Witch powers up a spell and launches it right at the muscle dub, Street Shark. The tiny little attack explodes inside of the shark monster, revealing the person that was inside. This man is arrested, and Lady Witch is celebrated as the city's savior. She is the city's hero. But ASF is surprised since she is a witch. He also points out that the weird girl seems way too happy about the witch's celebrity status, so she reveals that she is Lady Witch's apprentice. Mary runs off to prepare an introduction for the emos, and ASF is glad that they didn't waste any time at all in finding the witch. He reminds Giddy that their mission is their #1 priority. He warns her against acting on impulse, but he's shocked to find that she is long gone. Mary greets the witch named Lone and expresses her excitement for the big night they have ahead of them. The shark guy is furious, as he wonders how everyone could just forget what the witches had done before and calls them all crazy for treating her like a hero. Now just then, Giddy appears out of nowhere to attack the one she calls a filthy witch, but Loon blocks her and uses magic to tie her up. Katie uses some pretty foul language to point out that she is certain that Lon remembers her, but Lone says she isn't sure about what she's talking about. Giddy has no clue how Lone convinced everyone that she is a hero and explains that witches bring only disaster and misfortune. Just then a bunch of crows push the police back and ASF appears out of nowhere. He exclaims that things always end up this way and he wishes Giddy would just stay back and leave things too. Mary is of course upset, and Asif explains that this was all a misunderstanding. The crowd gets restless as they begin to throw things that are protagonists and demand that they be arrested. Ashi uses some kind of dark magic to get him out of there. But Giddy doesn't want to leave as their target is right in front of them. Ashef apologizes to the two ladies and teleports them away anyway. We then learn that 400 years ago, a wicked witch cast a curse on the city, turning it into a doomed land consumed by hellfire. However, the witch was defeated and the curse was sealed. ASF and Gaidy then arrive at the castle where the curse is said to be sealed. It's also the current residence of Lone. But that's all just based off a pamphlet he bought at a gift shop to Giddy all witches are evil. But this witch they are dealing with now has made a good reputation for herself. A group of ladies arrive and explain that they are there for a party to celebrate some kind of anniversary before they can explain what kind of anniversary. Mary welcomes them inside. She is shocked to see the two goth kids and refuses to let bad people like them inside. Katie points out that all witches are crazy, and she can't understand why Mary is defending. Mary explains that in the past the city treated witches terribly because of the wicked witch Loon hated this fact and worked hard to help the city. She protected the city from disasters and evildoers using magic. She saved many people in the process, including Mary. After years of trying, Lone's efforts were rewarded, and discrimination against witches in the city ended. That is why Mary refuses to let anyone that hates witches near Lone. ASI warns her against believing everything she hears and reveals that there is something questionable about the sealed hellfire that is supposedly a witch's curse. He explains that a witch's curse is never something that can just be sealed, so if something is sealed there, then it's definitely something other than a curse. ASF didn't expect Mary to believe him, but he asks her not to put too much trust in the witch. Either, he explains that witches always come with two things: secrets and danger. Mary has had enough of listening to the emo and demands that they leave, but Ashef would just like to know what they are celebrating. Mary is clearly pretty dumb though, as she explains that she has no clue and Lon is the only one who knows Giddy is ready to break in, but ASI just learned about, something he wants to study more. He hopes it's nothing, but it's unlikely. Considering they're dealing with a witch in the castle, all the witch's guests are amazed by the setup, and Mary explains that she just turned away the jerks that were talking about Lon like she was evil elsewhere while Giddy stuffs her face. ASF uncovers the terrifying true history buried in the past. It has to do with the place the fire was sealed and this exact date. ASF is upset since he wanted to handle this situation in a civilized way, but there's no hope for that now. ASF declares that he will let Giddy go through with her mission, so she gets so excited she eats a butter knife as they leave their hotel. Some police tread to stop them on Lady Witch's orders. It's clear that these guys are just under her control, and it proves that Lone is evil. ASF uses his tattoo magic thing, and crows cause chaos outside. They find that their wanted level is almost at 5 stars, as several cops are waiting for them. Giddy is furious at Lone and vows to punch her right in her stupid face when she sees her back at the castle. Things have taken a really bad turn for Mary as she wakes up to find that her hands and feet are missing. All the other guests are doing just as bad, but the witch tells her not to be afraid since they're all just becoming keys for her. She snuck a spell into their bodies during training, and they will now be keys to release the hellfire that sleeps in the city. Lone then shocks the handless girl by revealing that the wicked witch was her grandmother. Her grandmother actually wasn't wicked at all, as she was the one that sealed the fire and saved the city. The true cause of the fire remains a mystery, however. Witches were always getting blamed for disasters, and her grandmother was executed because of it. Elo has endured countless attacks on her life as well, so she doesn't plan on forgiving any of it. Mary begs her to stop, but Lone reveals that this day is too special to let pass exactly 417 years ago. The seal was put in place, and this day is the one day when its power awakens. Just then, one of the human keys opens the first lock. Just this one lock causes a massive fire to break out in the city. Lone celebrates this amazing day. Biddy arrives to break up the party. Unfortunately, Lune stops her easily. Giddy tries once more, but Lon uses her immense power to push her back. Lon is shocked that someone as powerless as Giddy would even try to attack her. Lone is no fool, though, and already knows that Giddy was just serving as a distraction. She unleashes an attack on the sneaky ASI, but he blocks it just as he finished up putting up a barrier around all the girls. Lon is amazed that he caught onto her plan and wonders just who this guy is. ASI plays it real cool, though, and explains that everyone has something to hide. That is especially true when speaking to witches, as he points out that people should never open their hearts. To a witch, she calls this prejudice and points out that prejudice is what caused this problem in the first place. Her grandmother was burned at the stake because of it, so she is just trying to make things right. Mary tries to talk some sense into Lone and points out that all the people that wronged her grandmother are gone. All the people in the city now love. Lone explains that their love only came because she was using them to build the groundwork for her plan, gaining their trust. Made breaking the seal feel far easier. Lone then shows how seriously evil she is as she explains that getting revenge on someone whose face you can't see is like getting revenge on an ant. Making friends with all the citizens now allows her to appreciate them as the targets of her revenge. The result now is that their suffering gives her great satisfaction. ASI tries to stop her from unlocking more of the seal, but Lone holds him back. Giddy reveals that she isn't done just yet and proclaims that she hates witches just as much as Lone hates humans. Guy then demands to know if Lone remembers her or the mark on her neck. Lone laughs and realizes now that Giddy wants to undo a witch's curse. However, a witch's curse is incredibly difficult. To remove, there are only 2 ways to undo one. First, a loving kiss from a Prince Charming, meaning a heartfelt kiss from one's partner in pure mutual love. Second is getting the witch who cursed the person to undo it. Unfortunately, Lon explains that she is not the witch Giddy is looking for, so she cannot undo her curse. Lone lights her up with flames and tells her that she just wasted her time since she has no information on the witch. She was mistaking her for just then. Ashef reveals that Lone has made one crucial error. She doesn't have to be the witch who cast the curse to lift it. Giddy emerges from the flames to approach Lone, but Lone instantly pierces her body with an attack. Giddy shockingly smiles, however, and plants a kiss right on the witch. Asif reveals a third way to remove a curse, and that is to kiss a witch. Darkness flows out of Giddy's body and right into the sea coffin. ASF always carries Lone, has no clue what is happening, and is stunned when a beast begins to emerge from the coffin. Lone feels its menacing aura but can't understand how she doesn't sense any powerful magic. She wonders if this is Giddy's true self, and Asha hopes that Giddy isn't too rusty, realizing the danger. Lone fires an attack, but Monster Giddy is completely unharmed. The witch tries an even more powerful attack, but Giddy once again is unscathed. Lone reaches into her bag of tricks to unleash her most powerful full spell, and Mary wonders why ASF isn't helping in the fight. ASF reveals that he is merely a first-rate mage, and he would be of no help at all in this battle. That isn't a problem, though, as his help is not needed one bit. This is because Gid is the most terrifying of all creatures, and the witch's greatest. An only natural enemy. Just then Giddy emerges from the smoke to grab Lone, and with just one punch, sends the witch flying. Lone can only wonder what this creature is as she is defeated. Monster Giddy collapses, and Asha recovers normal Giddy's body. Afterwards, ASF is glad to see that the fire is getting under control. But Giddy is furious to have run into another dead end. Ashif agrees that it's a shame, since this method can undo the curse, but not forever. For a more permanent solution, they will have to find the one they are searching for back at the castle. We see that all the girls have their hands and feet again.